Officials claim Scott's body disintegrated in the thermal pool located in Yellowstone National Park.
As the heat intensifies, the allure of cool, inviting waters can be hard to resist. But beneath the surface of some of the world's most beautiful lakes, springs, and beaches lie hidden dangers that are anything but serene. These waters, although calm, have claimed lives and hold the power to do the same again. Before you dive in, remember, what seems like a harmless swim could quickly turn into a fight for survival.
Berkeley Pit, a toxic tomb in the heart of Montana. Nestled in the once thriving mining city of Butte, Montana, lies an eerie and dangerous remnant of America's industrial past. The Berkeley Pit, a former open-pit copper mine, now stands as a toxic monument to the environmental devastation left in the wake of unbridled mineral extraction. This gaping wound in the earth, measuring over a mile wide and 1,700 feet deep, is filled with a staggering 50 billion gallons of contaminated water. The pit's reddish-brown hue serves as a warning of the toxic brew that lurks within, a sinister concoction of sulfuric acid and heavy metals, such as arsenic, cadmium, and zinc. The water's extreme acidity, with a pH level of 2.5, is comparable to that of vinegar or lemon juice. This corrosive liquid is not only unfit for human consumption, but also poses a deadly threat to wildlife. In a tragic incident that shocked the nation, a flock of 342 snow geese met an untimely demise after landing in the pit's toxic waters in 1995. The sight of hundreds of lifeless birds floating on the surface, their bodies ravaged by the caustic liquid, served as a grim reminder of the pit's lethal nature. The Berkeley Pit's transformation from a symbol of industrial might to a toxic scar is a cautionary tale of the consequences of unchecked exploitation. As the demand for copper soared, the pit grew deeper and wider, swallowing up entire neighborhoods and displacing communities. When the mine closed in 1982, the pumps that kept the groundwater at bay were shut off, allowing the pit to slowly fill with the poisonous brew we see today. Efforts have been made to mitigate the dangers posed by the Berkeley Pit. A water treatment plant was constructed to process the contaminated water before it can escape into the surrounding environment. Lake Natron, Tanzania's petrifying paradise. In the heart of Tanzania's Rift Valley, a seemingly innocuous lake stretches out across the arid landscape, its tranquil surface belying the deadly secret that lies beneath. This is Lake Natron, a body of water so caustic and inhospitable that it has earned the moniker, the lake that turns animals to stone. The lake's otherworldly appearance is a result of its unique chemical composition. Fed by mineral-rich hot springs and volcanic ash, the water is saturated with sodium carbonate and other salts, creating a highly alkaline environment with a pH level that can reach a staggering 12, a value comparable to that of household ammonia. This extreme alkalinity, combined with the lake's salinity and temperatures that can soar to a blistering 140 degrees Fahrenheit, creates a landscape that seems more suited to an alien planet than our own. The shoreline is encrusted with salt deposits and riddled with the calcified remains of birds and other animals that have met their demise in the lake's treacherous waters. The most haunting and iconic images associated with Lake Natron are those of the mummified birds that line its shores. These creatures, often flamingos or other water birds, become trapped in the lake's thick, salty crust, their bodies preserved in a state of eternal repose. The high alkalinity of the water quickly calcifies their remains, turning them into eerie stone statues frozen in time. But Lake Natron's dangers are not limited to the birds that call it home. In 2007, a group of wildlife photographers experienced the lake's wrath firsthand when their helicopter crashed into the corrosive waters. The crew survived the initial impact, but the caustic liquid quickly began to eat away at their skin and eyes, leaving them with severe burns and temporary blindness. Their harrowing escape across the shallow toxic water serves as a stark reminder of the lake's unforgiving nature. Despite its inhospitable conditions, Lake Natron is not entirely devoid of life. In fact, It is one of the most important breeding grounds for the lesser flamingo, a species that thrives in the lake's harsh environment. These resilient birds have adapted to the extreme conditions, building their nests on the salt islands that dot the lake's surface and feeding on the cyanobacteria that give the water its characteristic red hue. Strokkur Geyser, Iceland's explosive wonder. In the land of fire and ice, where volcanoes slumber beneath glacial sheets and hot springs bubble up from the Earth's crust, there is a force of nature that commands both awe and respect. This is Strokkur Geyser, a towering column of water and steam that erupts from the ground with a fury that seems to defy the laws of physics. Located in the geothermal wonderland of Iceland's Hanakapiai Valley, Strokkur is one of the world's most active and reliable geysers. Every 5 to 10 minutes, the geyser comes to life, sending a jet of boiling water and steam rocketing up to 130 feet into the air. The sight is both mesmerizing and terrifying, a reminder of the incredible power that lies just beneath the Earth's surface. The geyser's explosive nature is a result of the unique geology that underlies the Hanakapiai Valley. Here, magma chambers lie just 0.6 miles beneath the surface, heating the groundwater and creating a complex network of underground chambers and tunnels. As the water boils and expands, it seeks an escape route, building up pressure until it finally erupts through the geyser's vent in a spectacular display of nature's might. But Strokkur's beauty is matched only by its potential for danger. The water erupting from the geyser can reach temperatures of up to 464 degrees Fahrenheit, more than twice the boiling point of water at sea level. At this temperature, the water is not just hot enough to cause severe burns, but can also flash boil human flesh on contact. The force of the eruption itself is equally concerning. The high-pressure steam and water can easily knock a person off their feet, causing serious injury or even death. In fact, there have been numerous instances of people being scalded or even killed by geyser eruptions around the world. Grand Prismatic Spring, Yellowstone's chromatic killer. Deep in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, a mesmerizing pool of vibrant hues captivates visitors with its ethereal beauty. This is the Grand Prismatic Spring, a geothermal marvel that spans 370 feet in diameter, making it the third largest hot spring in the world. But beneath the spring's enchanting facade lies a deadly secret, a reminder that nature's beauty often comes with a price. The Grand Prismatic Spring's otherworldly appearance is a result of the intricate interplay between light, heat, and life. The spring's center glows a brilliant turquoise, a result of the clear, mineral-rich water that reflects the blue wavelengths of sunlight. As the water radiates outward, it cools, creating concentric rings of color that transition from green to yellow, orange, and finally red. A stunning spectrum reminiscent of a rainbow. These vivid hues are not just a trick of the light, but also a sign of the thriving microbial communities that call the spring home. Different species of heat-loving bacteria, each adapted to a specific temperature range, colonize the spring's edges, their pigments painting the water in a dazzling array of colors. But while the Grand Prismatic Spring's beauty may invite closer inspection, its near-boiling temperatures serve as a deadly warning to those who venture too close. The spring's waters can reach a scorching 189 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cause severe burns and even death in a matter of seconds. The dangers of the Grand Prismatic Spring were tragically highlighted in 2016 when a 23-year-old man, disregarding safety barriers, fell into a nearby hot spring after veering off an established boardwalk. The extreme heat and acidity of the water quickly claimed his life, dissolving his remains and rendering them unrecoverable. El Chichon Crater Lake, Mexico's Emerald Inferno. In the misty highlands of southern Mexico, a verdant landscape conceals a deadly secret. Nestled within the crater of the infamous El Chichon volcano lies a mesmerizing lake, its ethereal green waters belying the sinister nature that lurks beneath the surface. This is El Chichon Crater Lake, a place where beauty and danger intertwine in a captivating dance, luring the unsuspecting with its enchanting allure. The story of El Chichon Crater Lake began on March 28, 1982, when the seemingly dormant volcano unleashed a cataclysmic eruption that shook the earth and scarred the landscape. The explosive fury of the eruption claimed the lives of thousands, burying entire villages in a suffocating blanket of ash and debris. As the volcano's rage subsided, the crater left behind slowly filled with water, fed by the abundant rains that nourish the region's lush forests. Today, the crater lake spans an impressive 1,600 feet in diameter, its placid surface shimmering with an otherworldly shade of emerald green. The striking hue is a result of dissolved volcanic gases, primarily sulfur dioxide, which react with the water to create a highly acidic brew. The lake's pH levels hover around a staggering 0.5, a value comparable to the corrosive power of battery acid. The mesmerizing hue of El Chichon Crater Lake belies its true nature, a noxious brew of chemicals creating one of Earth's most hostile environments. This aquatic wasteland supports no life, save for the hardiest microorganisms. Its extreme acidity is an impenetrable barrier to all others. The barren, scarred crater walls loom over the toxic oasis, silent sentinels bearing witness to the cataclysmic force that forged this otherworldly landscape. The true extent of El Chichon Crater Lake's deadly potential remains unknown, as few have dared to brave its toxic waters. Those who have ventured near its shores speak of an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional hiss of escaping gases and the distant echoes of the volcano's slumbering might. Eagle's Nest Sinkhole, Florida's underwater labyrinth. Beneath the sun-drenched surface of the Floridian coast, a hidden world of darkness and danger beckons to the brave and the foolhardy. This is Eagle's Nest Sinkhole, a submerged cave system that spans over 5,000 feet in length, plunging to depths of up to 300 feet. It is a place where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur, where the allure of the unknown draws divers into a labyrinthine abyss from which some never return. From above, Eagle's Nest Sinkhole appears deceptively innocuous, a small, unassuming pond nestled among the lush vegetation of the surrounding forest. But as divers descend into its inky depths, they soon find themselves engulfed in a world of perpetual darkness, where the only light is that which they carry with them. The sinkhole's entrance is a gaping maw, a portal to an underwater realm where the rules of the surface world no longer apply. As divers plunge into Eagle's Nest, they face a labyrinth of narrow, winding passageways fraught with peril. The cave system unfolds like a subterranean maze, its interconnected tunnels and chambers presenting a gauntlet of challenges. From heart-pounding claustrophobic squeezes to awe-inspiring caverns that swallow light, the sinkhole's anatomy bears witness to nature's patient artistry, sculpted by the relentless dance of water and time over millennia. One of the most striking features of Eagle's Nest is the presence of a halocline, a distinct boundary between freshwater and saltwater that creates a mesmerizing visual effect. As divers pass through this invisible barrier, they are treated to a surreal spectacle, as the water seems to shimmer and warp, distorting their perceptions of depth and distance. It is a moment of fleeting beauty, a reminder of the otherworldly wonders that lie hidden beneath the surface. But the halocline is just one of the many dangers that lurk within Eagle's Nest. The sinkhole's depths are shrouded in perpetual darkness, a blackness so complete that it seems to swallow light itself. Divers must rely on the narrow beams of their torches to navigate the labyrinthine passages, casting eerie shadows on the cave walls that dance and flicker with each movement. The disorientation that comes with the absence of natural light is a constant companion, a psychological challenge that tests the mettle of even the most experienced divers. The physical dangers lurk at every turn. Narrow, jagged passageways threaten divers, while powerful currents can pull them off course. Equipment failure is an ever-present worry. In the unforgiving depths of Eagle's Nest, even the smallest error can be deadly. The sinkhole's winding tunnels hold traces of past adventurers who pushed too far. Their remains serve as a stark warning, highlighting the extreme risks faced by those who challenge the limits of human endurance in this treacherous underwater realm. Jacob's Well, Texas's subterranean death trap. Deep in the heart of Texas, a seemingly tranquil oasis conceals a deadly secret. Jacob's Well, a spring-fed swimming hole nestled in the hills of Wimberley, has long been a popular destination for those seeking to escape the scorching summer heat. But beneath the crystal-clear waters that beckon so invitingly lies a labyrinthine network of underwater caves and tunnels that have claimed the lives of countless unsuspecting divers. From the surface, Jacob's Well appears to be little more than a picturesque pool, its waters a striking shade of turquoise that reflects the surrounding cypress trees and limestone cliffs. The spring's mouth, a gaping chasm that measures some 12 feet in diameter, gives little indication of the horrors that lurk below. But as divers descend into the depths, they soon find themselves engulfed in a world of darkness and danger, where the rules of the surface world no longer apply. The first chamber of Jacob's Well plunges to a depth of 30 feet, a relatively shallow dive that belies the true nature of the cave system that lies beyond. As divers venture deeper, they are confronted with a dizzying array of narrow, winding passageways that snake their way through the bedrock, some barely wide enough to accommodate a human body. The cave system is a complex network of interconnected tunnels and chambers, each presenting its own unique set of challenges and hazards. One of the most notorious features of Jacob's Well is the presence of several false chimneys, dead-end passages that lure unsuspecting divers with the promise of an exit, only to trap them in a watery grave. These deceptive tunnels reflect the disorienting nature of the cave system, where even the most experienced divers can quickly lose their way in the murky depths. But the physical hazards of Jacob's Well pale in comparison to the psychological toll that the cave system exacts on those who dare to explore its depths. The absence of natural light, combined with the claustrophobic confines of the narrow passageways, can quickly lead to disorientation and panic, a deadly combination in an environment where every breath is precious. Over the years, Jacob's Well has claimed the lives of more than a dozen divers, each drawn by the allure of the unknown and the chance to test their skills against one of the most challenging underwater environments on Earth. Some have succumbed to the physical hazards of the cave system, their bodies entombed in the depths, never to be recovered. Others have fallen victim to the psychological toll of the abyss, their minds unraveling in the face of the unrelenting darkness and isolation. Naruto Whirlpools, Japan's spiraling vortexes. Off the coast of Awaji Island in Japan's Hyogo Prefecture, a narrow strait connecting the Pacific Ocean to the inland sea churns with a mesmerizing display of raw, untamed power. This is the Naruto Strait, home to some of the largest and most powerful whirlpools in the world. These swirling vortexes, known as the Naruto Whirlpools, showcase nature's awe-inspiring might. They serve as a captivating spectacle that both enthralls onlookers and instills a profound respect for the hidden forces lurking beneath even the most seemingly placid waters. The Naruto Whirlpools are a product of the complex interplay between the tides, currents, and underwater topography of the strait. Twice a day, as the tides change, a massive volume of water is forced through the narrow channel, creating a series of powerful whirlpools that can reach up to 66 feet in diameter. These vortexes are a mesmerizing sight, their swirling patterns and frothy white peaks a hypnotic display of the ocean's raw power. But the beauty of the Naruto whirlpools belies their deadly nature. The powerful currents generated by the whirlpools can reach speeds of up to 12 miles per hour, creating a treacherous environment for even the most experienced swimmers and boaters. The swirling vortexes can easily capsize small vessels, dragging their occupants down into the depths, while swimmers caught in the powerful currents can quickly find themselves exhausted and disoriented, unable to escape the whirlpool's grasp. But perhaps the most famous cultural reference to the Naruto whirlpools comes from the world of anime and manga, where they have served as the inspiration for one of the most iconic characters in the genre. Naruto Uzumaki, the eponymous hero of the long-running series Naruto, takes his name from the whirlpools, his signature spiral pattern, a nod to the mesmerizing vortexes that have captivated audiences around the world. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Swimming is awesome. It's a blast and great exercise, but it can also be risky. The picture perfectly captures how something that seems like a fun adventure can quickly turn into a nightmare. This guy stumbled upon an underwater hole and, being curious, decided to explore it. Little did he know it would lead to a complex network of tunnels. He got disoriented and lost, and things could have ended tragically if his friend hadn't bravely gone in after him and rescued him. Unfortunately, not everyone is as lucky. We hear stories all too often about people getting into trouble in similar situations, sometimes with devastating consequences. So it's always best to be careful when you're swimming, especially if you're exploring new spots. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. Hanakapiai Beach, Hawaii's deadly paradise. Nestled along the rugged coastline of Kauai, Hawaii, Hanakapiai Beach is a postcard-perfect paradise that lures unsuspecting visitors with its pristine golden sands, turquoise waters, and lush, towering cliffs. But beneath the breathtaking beauty of this remote oasis lurks a deadly secret, one that has claimed the lives of countless beachgoers and cemented Hanakapiai's reputation as one of the most dangerous beaches in the world. Accessible only by a treacherous 2-mile hike along the famed Kalalau Trail, the beach is a secluded gem, far removed from the crowds and conveniences of Kauai's more popular destinations. But it is this very isolation that makes Hanakapiai so perilous, as those who find themselves in trouble here are often left to fend for themselves against the unforgiving power of the sea. As visitors approach the beach, they are greeted by a series of ominous signs. Hazardous surf, strong current, dangerous shore break, the signs read, a litany of hazards that hint at the beach's dark history. Hanakapiai is notorious for its powerful rip currents and deceptively strong undertows that can sweep even the most experienced swimmers out to sea in a matter of seconds. These treacherous currents are fueled by the intense wave action that batters the beach, as the full force of the Pacific Ocean crashes against the shoreline with unrelenting fury. The waves here are unlike anything most beachgoers have ever experienced. Towering walls of water that can reach heights of up to 20 feet or more. Their thunderous roar a deafening soundtrack to the beach's untamed beauty. But it is not just the currents and waves that make Hanakapiai so deadly. The beach is also notorious for its Queen's Bath, a picturesque tide pool that beckons visitors with its crystal clear waters and stunning views. But the bath is a siren's call, a death trap that has claimed the lives of countless unsuspecting swimmers who venture too close to its edge. For when the tides rise, the bath becomes a churning cauldron of white water, its jagged rocks and powerful currents a deadly combination that can quickly overwhelm even the strongest swimmers. The statistics are staggering. Since the 1970s, more than 100 people have lost their lives at Hanakapiai Beach, their bodies swept out to sea by the relentless currents, never to be seen again. Many of these victims were tourists, lured by the beach's stunning beauty and unaware of the dangers that lurked beneath the surface. Others were experienced swimmers, confident in their abilities, but ultimately no match for the raw, untamed power of the ocean. Lake Berryessa's Glory Hole, California's watery vortex. In the heart of California's Napa Valley, a serene, picturesque lake harbors a dark and deadly secret. This is Lake Berryessa, a vast, man-made reservoir that stretches across more than 20,000 acres of pristine wilderness. But while the lake's placid waters and stunning vistas may seem inviting, those who venture too close to its most infamous feature, the Glory Hole, may find themselves pulled into a watery abyss from which there is no escape. The Glory Hole is a massive, funnel-shaped spillway that sits at the center of Lake Berryessa, its gaping maw a staggering 72 feet in diameter. When the lake's water levels rise too high, the excess water is funneled through the Glory Hole, creating a mesmerizing vortex that swirls and churns with incredible power. From above, the Glory Hole appears as a dark, forbidding circle, its edges worn smooth by the ceaseless flow of water that pours through it, But while the glory hole may be a marvel of engineering, designed to prevent the lake from overflowing its banks during heavy rains, it is also a deadly trap, one that has claimed the lives of several unsuspecting swimmers over the years. When the spillway is active, the suction created by the swirling water is incredibly strong, capable of pulling even the strongest swimmers down into its depths. The danger of the glory hole is compounded by the fact that it is often hidden from view, its dark, yawning mouth concealed beneath the surface of the lake. Swimmers who venture too close may find themselves suddenly caught in the powerful currents, their bodies dragged inexorably toward the waiting vortex. Once they are pulled into the spillway, there is little hope of escape, as the walls of the glory hole are steep and slippery, making it almost impossible to climb out. One of the most tragic incidents involving the glory hole occurred in 1997, when a 41-year-old woman named Emily Schwalek was pulled into the spillway while swimming with friends. Despite the desperate efforts of her companions to save her, Schwalek was dragged down into the depths of the glory hole, her body never to be recovered. The Blue Lagoon, Derbyshire's toxic oasis. In the rolling hills of Derbyshire, England, a tranquil lagoon shimmers with an otherworldly turquoise hue, its placid surface beckoning to weary travelers and adventurous swimmers alike. This is the Blue Lagoon, a deceptively beautiful oasis that has become one of the region's most infamous attractions. But beneath the lagoon's alluring exterior lies a toxic secret, a deadly cocktail of chemicals and pollutants that has earned it the nickname, the most dangerous waters in the UK. The Blue Lagoon story begins in the early 20th century, when the site was home to a bustling limestone quarry. For decades, workers toiled to extract the valuable stone, leaving behind a vast man-made crater that slowly filled with water over time. As the quarry fell into disuse, the surrounding landscape began to reclaim the site, transforming it into a seemingly natural wonder. But the lagoon's stunning turquoise color is far from natural. Instead, it is the result of a complex chemical reaction between the limestone and the surrounding minerals, a process that has left the water with a pH level of 11.3, roughly equivalent to that of ammonia or bleach. This extreme alkalinity makes the water highly corrosive, capable of causing severe chemical burns and even blindness to those who come into contact with it. The risks of swimming in the Blue Lagoon are manifold. In addition to the water's extreme alkalinity, the lagoon is also filled with a variety of hazardous debris, including rusted metal, broken glass, and even the occasional animal carcass. The water is also known to harbor a host of dangerous bacteria and microorganisms, including E. coli and other potentially deadly pathogens. The Big Hole, South Africa's gaping maw. In South Africa's northern Cape Province, a colossal wound in the earth lies in wait, the Big Hole, one of the deepest cavities ever excavated by human hands, and now one of the world's deadliest swimming spots. This former diamond mine plunges over 800 feet deep and stretches 1,500 feet across, a testament to human greed that's become a siren call to the unwary. But make no mistake, venture into these waters and you might never surface again. The Big Hole's sheer walls are a death trap, prone to sudden, catastrophic collapses. One wrong move and tons of rock could come crashing down, turning the water into a crushing tomb. But it's what lurks beneath the surface that poses the gravest threat. In the murky depths, a graveyard of mining equipment and jagged rocks waits to ensnare swimmers. The water itself is a toxic soup, laced with a century's worth of industrial chemicals. Even strong swimmers are no match for the Big Hole's treacherous currents and sudden drop-offs that can drag you into the abyss without warning. The true peril of this place was laid bare in 2013 when a local dog fell in. For 8 agonizing days, its desperate barks echoed off the unstable walls. A team of 7 rescuers risked their lives, descending into the pit using ropes and pulleys. After 15 harrowing hours, they finally saved the exhausted, dehydrated animal. If rescuing a dog was this dangerous, imagine the nightmare of saving a drowning person. The Big Hole has already claimed human lives, its depths hiding the remains of those who underestimated its dangers. Lake Hillier, Australia's cotton candy oasis. On the edge of Middle Island, off the southern coast of Western Australia, lies a site that seems to defy the laws of nature. Amidst the lush green vegetation and the deep blue waters of the Indian Ocean, a vibrant pink lake shimmers like a strange, otherworldly mirage. This is Lake Hillier, a natural wonder whose striking color has captivated scientists and tourists alike for over a century. The secret to Lake Hillier's unique hue lies in its high salt content, which creates the perfect environment for a particular type of red-colored bacterium and algae to thrive. These microorganisms produce carotenoids, pigments that help protect them from the sun's ultraviolet rays and give the lake its distinctive pink color. The result is a surreal landscape that looks more like a scene from a fairy tale than a natural phenomenon. Despite its otherworldly appearance, Lake Hillier is not considered dangerous to human health. While ingesting large quantities of the water is not advisable due to its high salinity, the lake is safe to visit and even swim in. However, accessing this remote location is not easy, as it requires a boat or helicopter ride from the mainland. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.